Now you seem overconfident.
Hello and welcome to, I would say, my first proper MK11 video. Here, as we can see, Jade has been revealed on a recent combat cast. This footage may be new to some of you, but I'm going to assume that every single one of you has already watched this trailer, which is why I'm speaking over it. Never speak over the intros though. So in this video I wanted to share some of my thoughts and opinions, obviously on Jade, but it just in MK11 in general, what I hope is going to happen, what I'm worried that may happen, and just go over my sort of line of thinking with things. So first of all, let's talk about Jade. Now I played Jade in MK9, I was a casual player at the time, but she was my go-to pick. She was the first one and the only one that I actually went in and labbed all the combos for because I wanted to be good with her. The reason why I liked Jade was I really liked the staff. I thought the staff was super cool. I liked the idea of sort of bonking my opponents on the head or stabbing them in the stomach with it and things like that. And I was a lot younger back then, so I didn't really think too much about it other than the fact that I really liked the fact that she used the staff. This is awesome, this is. I think the sort of cherry on top with this was definitely the spin around, which is really, really cool. I'm just gonna, because this is a sort of combat cast, recast. I like the laugh she does there at the end as well. She looks super, super cool. So first of all, I'm going to start with addressing some of the concerns that I have with MK11. The first concern that I've been thinking about is the competitive side of things. This is what I'm aware, this isn't set in stone, but Ed Boon stated in an interview with Angry Joe Show that there will be playable variations for each character, and I think he said 3 playable variations for each character. What this would mean for some players is that some of the really cool abilities might not be in the game. So if there's a move that you really want, it might not be in your variation. The other thing that concerns me is that I really like the idea, and I think a lot of people really like the idea, of being able to create their own amalgam of a character that they believe is the strongest version. It allows people to express their creativity. It allows people to show their knowledge and experience. And it's hype to see it when people pull these things off. There will be some people that play Jade and they want the up boomerang. There will be some people who play Jade and they want the run cancels. And there will be some people that play Jade that want the other version of the shadow kick and things like that. And then maybe they've got air glaze for abilities as well, because they haven't shown everything in this video. We don't know all of her abilities, but all we do know is that in competitive there's definitely going to be some restrictions, which, if it is the case, for me personally, and I've heard a lot of other people sort of shadow this, it's kind of disappointing. The second thing that concerns me going into MK11 is, will they continue the same player matched ranked leaderboard system, which is completely pointless. The issue with the current ranked leaderboard and player match system is that every match you go into, there isn't, as to my knowledge, a sort of hidden ELO, which would mean like a skill rating. So you just get matched up with any Joe Schmo. And that's not to be horrible, that's just a term of phrase just to say anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, what skill level they are. They could be freshly bought the game, or they could be the best player in the world. You know, and there's something good about that, but that's what player match is for. I'm happy for them to keep the player match leaderboard and keep the player match going, although that, you know, even the player match leader, it means nothing, because what happens with these things is people just cherry pick who they play against. Oh, I can beat this guy easy, I'll play against him. So even then, the player match leaderboards really don't make sense. To me, the whole system seems like a placeholder system that's just been in place for far too long. I was requesting an overhaul for Injustice 2, we never got it. I'm not predicting we'll get an overhaul in MK11, which is such a shame. It just feels, I feel like their priorities for the competitive player base at this current moment in time don't seem to be their focus. They seem a lot more interested in just sort of the gameplay aspects and the dynamics of that. The third and final concern I have for MK11 currently is all we're seeing at the moment is mid-range characters. Yes, Sonya, and you could argue Baraka, and maybe sort of Sub-Zero and Scorpion are a little bit more brawly, but, you know, between Scarlet, Jade, Cabal, all the ones that they've revealed, and I don't know who picked these orders to reveal them in, they all seem to be, oh sorry, my cat, they all seem to be sword normals with just keep away. And not to be offensive anyway, they're sort of like something that 16-bit likes to play. But there are a lot of different play styles that people enjoy. Some people really like rushdown, some people like mid-range, and some people like zoning. And a great fighting game will allow players to show what they want to do in-game with their character selection, but there should be a choice. MKX had this. There was a hell of a lot of diversity in MKX. It did turn out that Rushdown was king in MKX in the end, but at least there was plenty of options for people. The issue with Injustice mainly was that Injustice favoured whoever had the better sort of keep away and keep out, especially early on. And it just favoured walking back a lot on the huge stages and the slow-paced gameplay, and just it's kind of like a grind of a matchup. And people would just pick matchups where it was favoured for them that their keep away was slightly stronger, and it just didn't make for a very fun game. It wasn't more the balance of things, because as you know, many players had showed you could win a bad matchup in Injustice, or you could, you know, if you were patient, overcome them. It was more just it was quite painful to play, and that's not good. This links on to my concern with the game, is we've got extremely long range sweeps and things which are incorporating the attacks of the staff, and I understand from a character design point that this sort of back one or back two where she, you know, she jabs the staff out and stuff looks really cool, and it's great that she uses a weapon. But back in the day, that would have been a special move. A sweep like that would have been, a special move, and currently we've got these long, really long sword normals for these characters, and it's going to end up just being who can whiff punish whose long sword normal in the mid-range, and that's just obviously from the characters we've seen so far. Obviously, I'm hoping that with there being so many more characters to show, we'll get more of a balance. But people, in general, from what I've studied in the scene over the years, people want aggressive play and smart zoning. People don't want sort of, you're not getting near me play, where one player can literally just say, ha, either side, when we get to fight, and then when we're in, they just get away. And there's a really strong example of this later in the combat cast, where I believe Tyler Lansdowne's playing Sonya Blade. He finally gets his opponent Jade to the corner, or somebody's playing someone anyway. Finally gets into the corner, gets Jade into the corner, which is where she should be a weakness. And once again, the NRS thing strikes again. They just corner escape out. And I understand that corner escapes can be countered, and I understand there is some level of metagame there, but the battle's won once you get a zoner to the corner, in my eyes, in a video game. That should be your time to shine. It shouldn't just be one of those things where, oh my god, now I've got my opponent to the corner, I've technically outspaced him to the corner, he just gets away. And so many people have been petitioning for the removal of interactables, and it must be said, the interactables that are on like the ground and stuff have been dramatically cut down, and it does seem like the interactables are much better in this version. I don't mind interactables like the cactus, where you rub the face against the cactus. That's not the issue. It's the corner escapes and some of the wacky stuff on Injustice that was really unfun to play against. And I just hope that they do put a disable corner escapes option in. It would just really bolster the competitive merits. Those are my concerns for MK11. However, this is not going to be a completely negative video because the game is visually stunning. The character design, you may have hated Jade in the past, but how they brought her forward in this game, anybody who isn't an internet troll can clearly see that this character looks amazing. She may not be your cup of tea and what you're after in the game, but she looks fantastic, and we can expect this from NRS going forward. Their character design team is what's keeping them going. Absolutely fantastic. One of the things that we're looking for going forward as a competitive community will be to be in control of the characters that we play and that we love, and to have a mixed variety of playstyles to complement the players that use them. It's just what people want, it's what the community wants, it's what the fans and the viewers want, and we're just sat here now praying that MK11 is the game that we want it to be. So far the game seems to be a cross between Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2. With the mid-range characters, Cabal, Scarlet, Jade, showing that there's a lot of sort of sword normals and stuff, and there can be quite a bit of keep away. We're hoping that this isn't Injustice 3. Having had my hands on the game with the base roster, which they first originally showed, it didn't feel like Injustice 3 at all. However, if every single character comes on the screen and 16-bit goes, well, this is a mid-range character, she's really easy to, or he's really easy to play, and you really just, going to use these long normals to keep them out, it's kind of a snooze fest. And I'm going to have to be blunt about it, because somebody has to be blunt about it. People want the command run. Like, can you see this command run here? It's kind of what people want. It's fast, it's in your face, it brings some energy into the game. I'm not too sure I'd have it that fast, because it seems a bit fast to me, but it is a command normal. I don't think you can cancel outside of spending meter. But can you see you can cancel things there and stuff like that? So this is what people want. This is what people want from an MK game. There is a minority that don't want it, but you have to you can't cater to all communities. You're best off backing the side of the majority. I'm glad that they've allowed Cabal and Jade to have run cancels and stuff, but we need to see more of that. We need to see more rushdown, and I'd also like to see some dedicated zoners. I'm not there's nothing wrong with them going, this is a dedicated zoner, but I hope to God they show Kano soon on the next one or something, and it's just pure rushdown, and it's like, yeah, you can do this. It needs to be wild. It needs to be crazy and over the top, because this is what people enjoy. People loved MKX. People loved MK9 even. You watch Sonic Fox play MK9, he is in your face. You watch him play Injustice 1 on Bad Girl, he is in your face. People love that. People love watching it. You might not like it as a competitor, but ultimately, this is what attracts people to these games. This is why Injustice 2 has 0 viewers on Twitch half the time. It's why MKX still has a scene going strong, because people want to, when their spare time, they want to play fast matchups. They don't want to play slow matchups. And people say, well, I don't like that. That's okay. There will be a small minority of people that don't. But as with things like Marmite, as you say in the UK, which is you either love it or you hate it. And in general, the MK community just likes a little bit faster gameplay. It's as simple as that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm super excited about the content that we'll be receiving. Jade looks amazing. Every character they've revealed looks amazing. Props to the design team. I cannot wait for the future reveals. Just in case anybody asks, I'm currently excited for Devora. However, with so many more characters to come, who knows who I might end up going with. All that is considered is that if you thought, like, I don't like Kotal Kahn, right? But let's say Kotal Kahn's in this game. I'm not even going to be going into it thinking, oh, Kotal. I'm going to go into it thinking I can't wait to see what they've done with this character. Because, oh, it's just brilliant. And we'll end it on, this is the kind of normals that I'm talking about. Obviously, you can get a jump in from this. But by the way she's designed, you're not going to want to jump against her. So you're kind of just going to be sort of blocking that sweep over. I hope that it's sufficiently negative on block is all I'll say. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the content. I'll be putting out a bunch more stuff like this. And I'll see you next time.